Wow.
I'm experimenting with coloured shirts, boys. Is that hot pod content?
That's
Experimenting with coloured shirts.
Flog tent.
Yeah.
Never forget. Never suggest otherwise.
Alan Fang looked like I'm just like some kind of sad wiggle that's just trying out different colours.
Okay.
Why the sad part?
Well, I guess he was just trying to make me feel bad.
Oh, yeah.
About my,
Oh, you got roasted. This is a roast.
yeah, on a
Pretty gentle.
Yeah Mad 2 brainstorming meeting on Zoom. They were mocking me about my coloured. It was a yellow shirt I wore yesterday.
Yellow shirt.
Yeah.
Did you go AS color? Is there a little AS color range?
You better believe it's AS colour.
Do you get a 5 for a certain amount of dollars?
Oh yeah, yeah. Bulk buy, baby. I got like 10, about $20 each. So I mean, yeah, at that point, it's a license to print money. You're basically getting them for free.
I mean, that's not how that works at all. You exchange money for the good.
Close enough. Pretty cheap. $3 a shirt. This economy.
I like that you're the only person who like rounds down when it comes to price. You're like, well, if it's less than $100,000, then it's zero.
When you used to make drug money,
I have been over this with you.
anything under $1,000 is basically you just write it off.
I don't know how to emphasize that you no longer make drug money.
No, but in my head, like it's broken my sense of value. You know?
So now if it's not 30 grand a week through the sale of narcotics.
Not interested.
Yeah. So you go to AS Color, you buy 15 shirts. Like, I only need to sell one bag to cover this.
Well, I mean, that was implying that they got the bag of cocaine for free.
Yeah, true. I'm confusing revenue with profit. It's a very good point.
Tom, you thinking back gross? We think net here. We need to go to net. Guys,
I had
welcome,
to sell 2 bags.
welcome to the first Flog cabin for this financial year.
Oh,
That's why we're on it, I guess.
what a treat.
We're talking fiscal.
We're talking fiscal. EFS. Did you do EFS deals in your coke dealing days?
That's a good question. Did I do EFS deals? No, but there was definitely a lot of people coming to see me around that period.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, just to, get some more expenses out there before the new financial year.
Yeah, sorry, 2 bags. Can I get a tax invoice with that, please?
I do have the idea that Hammer's like, hey, welcome to White Friday sales.
White
White Saturday, White Sunday. It's all white. Every day of the week.
I have heard about brothels and drug dealers famously in like the 80s and 90s that like used to be able to sell their wares via with like they'd invoice a company, right? Advertising companies could just
But what would it be
Claim.
invoiced as?
well, you'd say consulting services. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Something
So
like
that's
that.
what consultants do. I've always wondered. And they've never narrowed it down.
You know?
I thought you were going a different way with that in saying that like brothels and drug dealers were able to like have a loyalty program.
Oh, yeah.
In the same way that like you're with one airline, but you also get a hotel deal.
I'm sure they existed as well, but this was just they would allow you to pay by card, right?
They'd allow you to pay by card.
You pay by card for your drugs in your vagina, and then
I'm imagining a prostitute with a stamp card tattooed on her back.
QR code.
just swipe the card here.
Yeah, just come in that box.
Yeah, we've got a QR code menu these days. We kept running out of menus.
Yeah.
Couldn't laminate them fast enough for the fellas.
Yeah, you got your COVID passport? Yes.
But year on year, it gets harder and harder to do this stuff. Either to have these crazy company expenses that you can get away with, or even trying to clean dirty money when we're becoming more and more a cashless economy.
That's true. I mean, I thought you were going a different way with that, where it's like harder and harder to sell drugs. And I'm like, I don't know if you've seen the stats, Hamo. It's not. More people doing
No.
drugs than ever
Not at
across
all.
the board
No,
consistently.
if there's any group that continues to lead innovation, it's the pornographers and crime.
Pornographers.
And crime.
Pornographers are always trying out, like they're always at the forefront of technology, right? VR and
I really took that a different way because I thought you
how
were
many
like,
different ways you
You're
can take
taking everything a different way.
Just listen to what I say and respond to it.
Dan Muggle thinking very laterally this year.
look, in financial year 2025, I'm thinking outside the box.
Oh my
And some of these pornographers are like, what about a mouth? We're innovating every single week.
I thought I was going to go a different way with that.
So which way did you take it, Dan? If not literally, which way?
I think I must still be taking things on American time. Unfortunately, I'm in the wrong time zone to take this.
Yeah.
I just didn't think there were many ways you'd go with pornography. It's P in the V or P in the M or D in the A. Where else are we going with this?
No, but I'm talking about the.
Why did you change to D for the last one?
Oh, because you don't put a penis in someone's asshole, Tom. You put a dick in there.
Yeah, but you put the penis in the mouth.
I'm not talking about the porn, like what the human activity of the porn is. I'm talking about the way in which you enjoy the porn,
the industry around
the
it.
technology around it, right? So like things like VR and choose your own adventure porn.
Is that a thing?
Choose your own adventure, that huge technological innovation.
Well, it used to be.
Previously, I found porn to be very prescriptive.
Well, it used to be in books.
Do you want to fuck this chick or do you want to explore the forest?
I used to read those books, where you like you choose your own adventure and you'd have a
story.
dice.
Skip story.
We're about to send you on a quest.
Speed up the chick talking.
I love the idea. It's just like, do you want to keep fucking this chick? No. Do you want to? Oh, we're out of ideas actually. Do you want to pay this chick for fucking her? Do you want to try and have a better relationship with your stepmother going forward? Ask her about her career. Say, hey, dad leaving emotionally affects me too. Or D, keep fucking her.
There is a website which I had tried before called lifeselector.com and it's choose your own adventure porn.
Life
Really?
selector.
Yeah.
That's too broad.
Because this came up in the Newcastle Live podcast. You have a very, I don't even know what the word is, abstract? No, let's talk about like your go-to porn site was unexpected.
Okay. All right. Here's the thing. I have spent a lot of time on cocaine. And
You're kidding.
It's a shock. And so when you're high on drugs, sometimes a 5 or 10 minute wank is not enough. You go for a really, I'd call it a Marawank.
A Marawank.
It's
Is that a wankathon, you fucking idiot? You're with Marawank.
See, I thought you were going somewhere else with that. I took it as marijuana wank.
Oh.
No, like a marathon wank.
No, Marawank, like the evolution of Cubone in Pokemon.
And once you...
Cubone's mother was fucked to death.
Anyway, it's called a Marawank.
Skull fucked, I think. I can't be 100% sure. Jesus Christ.
Anyway, it's
It's
called a
way too early in the episode for this. We're 7 minutes in. We're not even into the first third of the Marawank.
Yeah, it's early for both porn and Pokemon references.
So when you're in the middle, when you're in the depths of a Marawank,
Please stop saying Marawank.
Wankathon is so much better.
So much better. Not even close.
look, man, I didn't come up with it.
Who did?
I don't know.
Jerkathon?
Some group chat.
Jerkathon.
No,
You think Marawank is a real term that's been said before you just now?
yes.
I disagree.
Yes.
Tom, Google Marawank and see if it's anything apart from Google saying, did you mean Marawank?
It's within my circle of friends back in the day had discussed it.
There's a TikTok called Marawank, but most of the profile is in Arabic.
I think that's just
This is
someone's
not a
name.
thing at all.
No, I'm not saying that it's in the public vernacular. I'm saying this was
Not part of the zeitgeist.
No, it's not. This is cutting edge stuff.
Okay.
It's not part of the Zeitwank.
Okay, so you're having a Marawank, which is a really normal term and not going to derail the story at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when you're having you're doing a lot of drugs and
You and your friends doing it together? Sorry, you just said it was within the circle of friends.
no, because you'd go out, you'd have cocaine, then you'd go home to your individual houses, and then you'd end up having like a 2 or 3, 4 hour wank. 2
2 or 3 or 4 hours?
Yeah.
What? Wait, how many times are you coming? Just once?
Just once. You just really, because you're so high, you're like, I've got nowhere to be.
That's what I've found on cocaine. Really chills me out.
And when you're in a situation like that, you realize that you quite quickly complete pornography almost. You go through everything that's out there. And so then you're like, well, I've seen all of that.
Yeah, whenever I go on Pornhub, I'm like, wow, there's only 3 to 4 hours of porn on here.
So then you're like, well, then you start really getting into the depths of it. And that's when you stumble across things like choose your own adventure porn.
Or what was the one? Simp?
Hornysimp.com.
Hornysimp.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got bored of all the other ones. That one came up recently and I was like, oh, not terrible.
But like, does the pornography need to be more extreme? Like, or is it just like you just want some kind of other
It's
interaction
not more
with
extreme. It's not. There's nothing about it that's more extreme. It's just more of the same. But it's just like, I don't know. It's a more premium selection, greater production value, more talented actors, more dedication to the storyline. Just trying to really get the art out there still.
More
And
clickbaity thumbnails.
So I forget where we're going with this, but anyway.
I mean, just like a Marawank, it's easy to get distracted before you finish.
So, like, that girl, there was a woman at the live pod in Newcastle was talking about, she'd done VR porn, right?
Again, we clarified this at the show. We should say again, she had watched VR porn. She hadn't done it. She wasn't a VR actress.
Yes. Yeah. She'd watched VR porn. But these days, you can do stuff like, if you're in a long distance relationship, you could like have VR and like also like control a sex toy there that like is in them or on their cock or something like that.
On their cock.
Plot twist.
Hammer's in a long distance relationship with a guy. That's what we figured out here. That was so funny. If you're in a long distance relationship and Tom and I are like, Hammer, you're in one. Why are you talking about this in the third person?
And when I'm controlling the sex toys on Nikki's cock, she has a fantastic time.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay.
So where's the future going? Sex robots.
Sex robots, like full, like animatronic, android, like whole, or just like
If I'm alone,
like a Roomba.
If I'm alone and I'm like 60, I'm probably getting a sex robot. Wouldn't you?
What if I was alone and I was 60?
Yeah, and you're like, it looks exactly the same.
But if you're 60, you got a sex robot, it's really awkward when you got to get your grandchild to fix it for you.
No, but you've got a young Southeast Asian wife to install it for you. Wait, are we suggesting the Australian dream won't be possible when we're 60?
Surely that's just going to be a Southeast Asian themed robot, I'd have thought.
What?
Yeah.
That takes all the fun out of it.
You think so?
How could you have kids with it and make your family feel weird? Ruins that whole vibe. But okay, so I think, look, if I was 60, I don't think I would go the sex robot because I'd find that like an offensive advancement. I think I'd be like a technophobe in that sense. I'd just go with a good old fashioned rub and tug.
Yeah.
The prostitutes that our dads found a bit much. So they'd, have second families.
Well, you can do the regular thing, like a lot of guys, and just move to the Philippines, right, and live it up like a king. And then they remarry some 20-year-old.
Yeah, that thing I just said.
Oh, I thought you were saying...
Sorry, I thought you were going a different way with that.
What if I took this conversation in a completely different direction and you move there as opposed to move them here? Plot twist.
But here's the thing you don't know, is that a lot of them over in the Philippines now are robots.
Just Filipinos are robots?
You heard it here first, vloggers.
Birds aren't real and the Filipinos are robots.
You cut Manny Pacquiao open, you'll find some nuts and bolts in there.
Cybernetic. Speaking of which, Terminator.
Wait, no, I want to hit a couple of things. Well, first of all, I was just going to say, like, because I think they already have sex robot kind of esque things, which is vaginas that sync up with the porn.
Yeah.
So it reflects whatever's happening on screen.
Sorry, Professor Witcombe, how does the vagina sync up with the porn?
So it's like it's on a mechanism or like a rotor so that it is gyrating or moving in line with what's happening on the screen.
Oh, so kind of like the old 4D cinema where the seat
exactly.
would move and there's a little puff of liquid.
Yeah.
She'd be like, oh, damn it, that was true to film.
Can you imagine like just sending like a 1-star review afterwards being like, actually, it was counterclockwise when clearly in the film she was rotating her pussy clockwise.
That's it. It's like, why is the woman in this video blowing bubbles? Oh, there they are. Little puffs of air when she quaffs.
It's been a while. We should keep a tally of every time we say queef because it hasn't come up enough.
I'll be the first.
I'm shocked.
I think it might be the first queef in the cabin.
There it is. The first queef. Is that the title of the episode as well?
The first queef in the cabin?
First queef in the cabin.
That's the title of my new children's book. It's like the wind in the willows, but sexy. That's a queef in the cabin. And the toad was fucking her doggy.
Yeah, who says farts get to have all the fun in children's books? Bring some queefs in.
That's a bestseller right there, I reckon.
That would actually be, I reckon.
The Queefs in the Cabin by Morris Gleitzman.
The day my queef went psycho.
No, it's way too dirty for Andy Griffith.
What did Morris Gleitzman used to do?
The day my bum went psycho. Tell me
Is that right?
I thought that was right.
It might have been.
Could have been.
Or was he Captain Underpants? That was the other one.
Oh, I don't know. But who's
Yeah.
the other one? Paul
Jennings?
Jennings. I read his
That's the guy I was
autobiography.
thinking of.
Pretty good.
Oh, he did like a collaboration with one of them, didn't he? Didn't two of them? Was
Yes.
Yeah.
It was the super group
It, yeah.
of children's authors in Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like them crooked vultures, but them adorable vultures.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know? There was a collab.
Between who?
Two of the big children's authors. Don't worry about it.
All right.
We'll move on.
Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah.
first queef. There you go. Back on home turf. How about something you can involve in?
First queef in the cab.
First queef in the cab.
The other thing I
A
wanted
little
to say,
bit of an Evequay in the Aben Cave.
There we go.
Evequay is fun. I don't mind that.
you love Pig Latin.
I love Pig Latin. I've gotten into it because I got obsessed in the States because someone was like, what is the esche thing? And I'm like, it's Pig Latin for sesh. They're like, I think it's Pig Latin for yes.
Oh,
And then I went on Google and apparently it's both.
Esche.
Esche. Esche Adlai.
Yeah, okay. Sesh lad. There you go.
That's what I thought. But
not
apparently
know.
it's yes lad also.
Yes, lad.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, if you're with a lass and you're like, hey, can I have sex with you? And she says, esche, get in there.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
consent.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Or maybe she wants a cigarette.
Oh,
I don't know.
God. Now you
Yeah, maybe she's
made me question some of my past actions.
All those lasses you were having sex with?
She just wanted to
Can
have
you
a sesh. She just wanted to have a harmless sesh.
Just a harmless sesh with me.
Just in the back of your closet behind all your Adidas tracksuits, just a bunch of Nautica polos. Dad, what are these? Don't worry about it.
It's a secret life. Mary and I role play. You guys don't do that? You guys don't role play with your partners as a lass and a lad?
Lad role play.
Yeah. It's just like, oi, my travel 10.
Get the bum bag.
There it is.
Wait, can we do bum bag stuff tonight? Esche. And you're like, yes.
The other thing, do we want to talk about the Newcastle live pod once or a bit? Once? A bit? Is what I was going for.
This is Tom's first segue. You never forget your first segue, Sitch.
Segway sash.
Well-
Did I do it right?
Well, I smashed two dudes in a skull off. That felt good.
That was true. A bloke named Liam and a guy called Dean, who we all thought was going to be called something else.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
He was way too spicy for Dean, I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
Well,
did
he
I-
tagged me in a photo and shared it, and it had a whole bunch of squiggly writing, and it turned out that was Hebrew.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah. So
I'm sure they'll appreciate squiggly writing as a way to describe their written language.
Yeah. You know, the writing looks like the thing on the side of their head.
Well, it's always good to know we edit out.
Yeah, you beat two guys in a skull off. One of them who really didn't want to be there because he was high on magic
it
mushrooms.
was on mushrooms. Yep.
Yeah,
It was-
I mean, it's actually, it was the Sabbath, so it shouldn't be competing at all.
Oh, yeah.
I really.
Old mate Dean.
They do. There are people that are attracted to coming to see me live on mushrooms. That seems to be a thing. It's happened quite a few times now.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it does make sense, but it's still going on.
Yeah.
Who knows when
It's like sometimes people will frog march to go see Tom.
But yeah, he was terribly. So did he beat Liam?
I think they both lost. I don't think like either of them beat the other one. It was just kind of a mess.
It was pretty close between him and Liam. I think Liam still narrowly won, but Liam did very poorly for how confident he looked.
He was a big fella
With
in
a
a
big
flannel.
beard.
and a big gut, presumably from beer. And so
Thanks for coming, Liam, by the way. As we
yeah.
body shame you after we skull shame you.
He did say that he's a flogger.
He's a
And
big flogger.
So thank
flogger.
you. Thank you for putting your hand up. You are a big fella. You did make me doubt myself for a second, so I can give you that much credit before I absolutely destroyed you.
It was true. It wasn't even close.
No.
Hammer did very well.
Yeah.
It was pretty attractive.
Yeah.
Well, I did get a few compliments, mostly from dudes at the end.
I've got to say, thank you to all the people who came to the live pod in Newcastle.
Mostly women.
Mostly women.
Mostly women.
Yet again, we are the only straight male podcast for women.
Yep.
It's just us.
I can't get them to come to my stand-up, but we talk we talk stuff on a we talk more questionable stuff on a pod that I say on stage in my stand-up, and somehow the numbers are skewed.
I mean, look, I think chicks just like to see dudes skull off.
That must be it.
That's what they love. Three
Yeah.
dudes being like, oh, fucking chug this
But
beer
they
real
didn't know
fast.
that was going to happen. We didn't advertise that. Maybe next time we should.
We should.
Hey, real quick. Skull off, skull cap off. Right, Dean?
All right, in the advertising next time.
That's the exact way I thought you were going to go with it.
We had also because we had those three girls in the front right. One of them who was legitimate flogger, and then her two friends who were hammered because they had been at brunch in the morning.
There was a flogger and a couple of floggies.
Yeah,
and they're also sitting there with 3 drinks per woman.
3 vodka sodas per person, 4 p.m., and they'd gone to bottomless brunch beforehand. These are the fans we deserve.
Yeah, that's it.
But not the fans we want. I'm just kidding. You guys are great.
They were, considering how unruly they could have been, I thought that they were fine. You know,
They were great.
they weren't out of control.
They didn't even mind when Tom smashed you with a ruler that broke and narrowly hit them in the eye.
I thought about that. We had a rule at the podcast that every time any of us said we got to smack that person with a ruler.
Yeah,
And,
that was our live show challenge for Newcastle.
And Hamo did an early, and I wanted to set the tone, so I hit him as hard as I could with a ruler, and it smashed, and the corner of it flew towards these 3 women and came very close to hitting one in the face, which would not have been good. I kind of reflected on that.
Yeah, you would have got sued. Do you have performance liability?
I do actually for Melbourne.
Well,
I think.
lucky
Yeah.
because you were the one who hit him with the ruler. Wait, hit Hammer with the ruler.
Yeah, touched Hamo last.
That's true.
It reminded me of getting hit with a wooden spoon as a child.
You used to get hit with a spoon?
On the hands. And one time my dad hit me so hard it broke in half. And that was it. That was the end of the smack.
But no more spoons, no replacement spoons.
Yeah.
Imagine that. It's just like, well, I guess you've outgrown this.
It was a
You're a
humble
man
household.
now.
We didn't have much of a spoon budget back then. So once that one was
Not
gone.
much of a spoon budget.
Eating ice cream with forks.
It was like, oh, well, you're grounded.
Well, I guess soup's off the menu. Andrew.
And the Hamiltons never had porridge again.
I like it.
But it was the girls in the front, the drunkest one, who probably went and spewed sometime during the podcast.
believe she did.
Yeah. Who came up, I've already told you guys this, but it made me laugh so much. She comes up and she's so drunk. She's like, no, you guys did so good. And you know, it takes a mountain to build a podcast.
That is so deep.
It's so good.
We're gonna have that on a shirt one day.
It takes a mountain to build a podcast. It's very good, especially for a cabin, Flog cabin.
Yeah, it's perfect.
It takes a mountain to build a podcast. I can't even quite get my head around what she was trying to say. Takes a village to raise a family. Don't make a mountain out of a molehill. Is that where we were landing?
Yeah, and she just kind of found it somewhere in the middle there.
Yeah.
It takes a mountain
It takes a mountain.
to build a podcast.
It does oddly inspire me though.
I mean, I felt better about the whole thing.
Yeah.
Afterwards,
Yeah.
I was like, well, no wonder this podcast isn't succeeding. We've got no fucking mountains anywhere near it.
Yeah. We're all altitude sick. That's the problem.
She was great.
It was excellent. Very funny.
Insisted on photos, and I'm like, you didn't even remember that you came to this.
That's why she needed photos. Where was I?
What did I do yesterday afternoon? Who are these dudes?
But you missed, Dan, my favorite moment of the entire trip in Newcastle, which it was Hamo's least favorite moment, which is why it's my favorite moment.
That sounds great.
So we're standing in the stairwell at the start of the showcase, and we're just kind of chatting. It's
Newcastle
Hamo and
Comedy
I.
Club showcase.
Newcastle Comedy Club, Hamo, myself, Brett Blake, and Nick Capron were chatting. And the posters for the shows at Newcastle Comedy Festival all through the stairwell. And there's like 5 of Hamo's one. And there's a big line of people trying to get in to show their tickets to get into the showcase. It's just about to start, all the way down the stairs. And this girl comes up to Hamo's poster, gets her phone out, and takes a photo of it. And Hamo's going, oh, we're on here. And she turns around and he goes, that's a good idea photographing that. I've heard he's very funny. And she goes, oh, is that you, is it?
How the mighty have fallen.
Hamo goes, it's nice to get humbled from time to time. Like, time to time, Hamo, I live here.
Wait, Tom Witcombe from Humble Street?
Yeah.
The humble
Yeah, I
Witcombes?
had to cop that one sweat of the chin.
Go good.
So why did you take a photo of it then? Did you get to the bottom of this?
I think she was just perhaps mildly interested in going to the show, but she didn't. When I said that, we've talked about my head on that poster not always looking exactly like I got a bit chubbed in the face since that post. So,
The head looks the same.
So-
It's the presence of a neck that's different.
yeah, okay.
Is there a neck in the photo?
There's a neck in the photo.
I didn't realize you did airbrush stuff.
You
Got
know
these
anything
people
with,
of GQ. It's like, yeah, don't tone him up, just the neck. Add a neck, would you?
you can do anything with Photoshop, and so
AI these days. It's crazy.
yeah,
I'm very
she
excited
just-
for this week's podcast artwork with him with a very long neck.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
But it was clear that it was not that she knew who I was. It may be the name of the show was doing the heavy lifting.
It's not that she knew who she was or particularly cared to.
Yeah.
It didn't seem it.
Oh, is
so
that
she
you?
wasn't excited after
She was
that
like,
at all.
oh, is that just you, is it?
She
And
was not. No, it did nothing for her. She just then walked in to the venue.
Wow. Do you reckon she's buying a ticket? Would you recognize her?
she didn't.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Okay, so Newcastle show, you got to check. You got to tell this story and you got to start there. Being like, hey, just wondering.
Yeah. And afterwards, she went and got Thai because we were having Thai and Hamo clocked it.
Yeah.
Was not impressed.
She was sitting there staring at me.
No, she wasn't.
Going, who is that guy?
I like the idea that at the Thai restaurant, she's ordered off the QR code menu. The pad Thai comes out. She's like, oh, is that you, is it? She can't perceive in 3D, folks. She's baffled. Baffled, this broad.
So, yes, we'll find out in about a month whether or not she turns up.
I got nothing.
You seemed deep in thought.
I was just like, where do we
How
go
many
with
ways
this?
could I take this? Oh, just the one.
Just the one. Just the one way to take it.
We could talk about the EDMs I'm getting from a drug dealer on my phone at the moment.
Well, I mean, I thought we were going to segue into that seamlessly. We were talking about end of financial year as a fucking drug dealer.
We were, but we went
Then
down.
you just let it through to the keeper.
All right, well, do you want to edit it back and then we'll?
No, I
we'll
just
find
want
a way
the floggers to know how unprofessional you are.
No, because then we
How
were
shit our segues are.
because then we were talking about the Newcastle show. We had to talk about that.
Fuck off, Tom.
Jesus Christ, Tom.
All right.
And it's still going to be back in the cabin.
Yeah.
It's really hard to bully people like this in America where they're armed.
All right.
So go on.
Yeah, bring
Well,
up that
no.
connecting conversation to that one we had ages ago.
Well, no, I don't think you can
sorry,
do it
Tom,
anymore.
what weren't we talking about?
What were we talking So the one drug dealer in my phone, who was the guy that I got coke off on the night of my stag do, he sends EDMs
When are you
from time
finally
to
copping to
time.
doing coke in the stag do?
We gave it away on the bingo, didn't we?
I thought we hadn't.
You'd always kind of kept it close to the vest. It was like Mary being pregnant, you know? It was
Oh,
like
okay.
something.
Ooh.
Because your parents listen to this. That's why I thought you were.
I don't know if they do.
All right. And just in case we've missed it for the clip, Tom did cocaine at his Bucks party.
Oh,
Tom.
wow, huge. So anyway, the
He
guys.
didn't get it from me.
And then he went home and had a Marawank. And while he was jerking off, he was like, I wish there was a better name for this.
Minimum 3 hours.
That's so funny. Minimum 3 hours, like there with the clock on.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, I wish I could come.
And
The
this
guys
is-
look at it like, not a Mara. Sorry, mate. Those are rookie numbers. 2 hours 45.
Just like a referee there in the striped shirt, being like, not a Mara. We're going to go back to VAR. Not a Mara. Take it from the spot, fellas.
got a captain's challenge on the Marawank. Got a captain's
He's actually lost a timeout on the Marawank now, which is a nightmare. It's very hard to masturbate for 3 hours without pausing for a line every now and again.
coming to the pit crew. It needs fresh rubber.
So you ordered bad drugs at your Bucks party, and now the guy won't stop DMing you.
Wait, I got one more question about the Marawank. Now I'm calling it that. Fuck. Did you have lube? Or were you just going dry?
I've never been a lube guy.
But like, are you spitting? Yeah. Doing everyone's favorite fucking internet stupid thing.
No, I just
Hock tour.
I've had
Hock
some.
tour.
I've had some delicate handling.
Delicate handling.
Yeah.
That's some delicate handling.
Well, whatever the need for the lube or the spit, like I've been able to.
Oh, sorry. The need for lube is for lubrication. Maybe that was unclear with the title.
Why do they call it lubrication? Would it make more sense to call it Rick?
I don't need that level of slipperiness. I can make it work without that kind of stuff.
But just
going
over
on.
that length of time, I just thought there'd be, some
Sweat.
chafing.
There's sweat.
Sweat.
I like to think dripping from the brow.
There's sweat and pre-cum.
The sequel to Hamo's book, Sweat and Pre-Cum by
Sweat
Andrew
and
Hamilton.
pre-cum. Yeah, about his time in boarding school.
There is actually one chapter does end with me saying, and that was when I had my first prison wank.
Really? Profound.
Benefits.
Is it my turn now? Is that what we're doing?
Stint
In
Prison.
There we go. Gotta read the book. Find out about that.
Bye.
Gotta buy the book to read about the prison wank.
I do like to think the last word in the book is bye.
Yeah, I hope so. If not, you should draw it in the back of every book.
That's how you can sign it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bye. And then Hamo.
That's fun.
I like it.
All right.
So, drug dealer in his phone.
So, because I put this in the group chat, and you have a feeling about drug dealers who send out EDMs.
I have very strong views about
Go on.
this. Well, I think you should read the message first, should you?
So, I mean, initially it was just like kind of standard fare where it had the guy's name and he goes, hey, you know what they say? It's what does this mean? Hey, you know what they say? It's the pearls that get the girls. Rolling out some of Sydney's finest quantity, 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. Friday, Saturday, WhatsApp, so signal only, stories alert. It's whatever. It's like pretty clear about drugs. Get ready for the best. Sydney's finest quality, delivered with love.
Love.
And then on Wednesday, I get this. Hey, fellas. NRL organ game showdown ahead. I think he means Origin. Football,
Man,
beers.
you telling me this drug dealer isn't a great speller?
I mean,
I would have been.
you lost to a drug dealer in a spelling bee, have you
Yeah,
known?
but this is an exception. This guy's unbelievable.
And I wasn't sending out these kind of questionable EDMs, but
Get ready for top-notch banter, brews, and cheers. Let's tackle these jokes harder than the players on the field. It's going to be a hoot. See you out there, lads. # boys, girls night out. That's on Wednesday. On Friday, happy Friday. Spreading love and peace like Tupac. Vibe so strong, let's make today a rap. Quick love to all. Have a fab day. Keep it real and enjoy the weekend in your own unique way. Star emoji, music emoji. # Friday.
This makes me sick.
This does make me sick.
Get ready to catch the Saturday night fever with our joke party. Prepare to dance with laughter, and we serve up punchlines hotter than a disco ball. Get in the groove and join the fun. Party emoji, laughing, smiling emoji. Thanks for the awesome weekend. Had a blast with you all. Back to reality now, but hey, I'll survive with coffee and sarcasm.
Is this real?
This is real. I don't know what's
Are you
happening
sure
to this
this is
guy.
real?
Sadly, there are some bad apples in the industry that bring us all down.
Yeah.
That bring us into
Bad apples is in apples that aren't filled with cocaine.
They bring us into disrepute with this kind of unconscionable behavior.
But like,
And
is this...
It's appalling in every way. One, those messages suck, and there's no clear information about. I mean, the funniest one is his operation window is 12 p.m. till 12 a.m. You gotta broaden those hours out, buddy. You're gonna stop selling at midnight.
Andrew Hamilton, cocaine consultant.
Yeah, welcome back to Shark Den.
I have
Shark Den.
I've done the math.
Okay.
I did the math on how much cocaine I needed to do to stay up late at night to sell cocaine.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a point where the numbers become inverted, where I'm doing more than the sales justify.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's when you're doing lines off your calculator.
That was around 3 a.m.
3 a.m.
3 a.m. You have to stop because otherwise I'm losing money because I'm doing too much coke
Mm-hmm.
and the sales is maybe 1 an hour.
Okay.
So, but that window, 12 till 3, very lucrative. I don't know why you're shutting up shop at 12:01. You're a fucking Derek. But on top of that, if you're having to remind people that you are an available drug dealer, you are selling bad drugs because good drugs sell themselves.
That was that Chris Rock joke. Drug dealers don't sell drugs. Drug dealers offer drugs.
Here we go. Bang on.
Nailed it.
And I ran a very profitable business without ever having to send any kind of dodgy message like that. These are the people that made me sick.
How much time it elapsed between those messages? That was like
That's
7
every day.
messages.
That's every day for the last 4 days.
What?
The last one was today. No, it's okay. It goes Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, today. So 4 and 6 days. Is that right? 4 and 5 days.
And had never reached out before?
No, it has reached out before. I've never gone back. But usually it was just like...
Can we just do something in the cabin? Because like a bit of a community service, just message him back, just like, hey man, are you okay?
All right, I'm on it.
You okay, dude?
Hey man, you said it. This is good. This is good pod gear. Here we go.
Nice.
We
Just
should.
because like he seems like he's in trouble.
Yeah, that's
We
what I think.
should.
It feels like it's not even just like bad drug salesmanship. It's just it's a little bit troubling.
Every week on the Flog Cabin now, we're going to be providing constructive feedback to drug dealers that send out mail out messages until we're 10 weeks in when the police raid this podcast to get all those numbers off us.
Yeah, I mean, I just reading that, I'm like, if my friend was messaging me like that, like let alone a professional contact, a colleague, if you will, like I'd be really worried about their well-being.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you've reached out.
It's too many messages, and like there's so many bad ones that I'll send out about like they're doing deals, there's discounts, there's 20% off. You buy two, you get them for half price. You get they'll mention things like,
Wait, Tom.
this is rare quality cracker. Oh, has he responded?
Hey, bro. Hope you're well. Yeah, definitely, my bro. How are you? He's come to me on WhatsApp. He's trying to sell to me. He's not.
Yeah, he thinks you want cocaine.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Instead
But
of
he seems okay.
Yeah.
He said my bro a lot, which I think is just par for the course.
I think we should respond to another message and say
I'm
something
saying, yeah,
like,
I'm all right. Those messages seemed a bit of a worry.
Yeah, just you got a lot of messages in quick succession.
Imagine if this gets back to him somehow and how baffled he would be as a drug professional.
Well, I mean, seeing those messages, I think there's a lot that's baffling.
And now he's messaged me he went to WhatsApp and now he's come to,
Back to
text. He is keen. He's very keen.
Holy shit, that's too many. Treat him mean, keep him keen.
Hammer, your response to this reminds me of like the old school footy player when they talked about like video replay. It is like, it's just not in the spirit of the game. You're taking it out of there. Mistakes get made on the field. What are you doing?
Just so needy.
He also sounds like a stand-up comedian who came up before the time of social media. Whereas, like, you don't have to put it out there. Just they'll come. If it's good stuff, they'll come.
Best Coke in Sydney ever? Question mark.
You get these messages like, "Hey boys, we've got Sydney's A-grade #1++ cracker." And a cracker is spelled CRACKA. Cracker.
I said, yeah, I'm all right. Those messages seemed a bit of a worry. I wanted to make sure all good.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
This is pastoral care. You will not believe the purity of this bag.
Is this you doing clickbait? Coke-bait?
Yeah. The top 4 drugs I'm selling right now. Number 3 will shock you. It's dexamphetamine.
Australia's Coke dealers hate him. Find out why.
I sold Coke to this chick. You won't believe what she said.
You'll never believe what my celebrity Coke customer looks like now.
He said, nah, all good, my bro. So we don't have to worry about him. He's
Oh, that's
fine.
good. Dude, I'm glad.
Thought I was being funny. Ha 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 ha. Thanks though for checking in.
Oh, that's nice.
Love heart, bro.
This is maybe the most uplifting moment we've ever had in the cabin.
This was the guy, I'm pretty sure this is the guy we ended up getting it from, who my mate, we went to go pick up and we walk up to the guy. He's like, all right, just like kind of just come for a walk around the block. We walk around the block and he goes to my mate and he's like, oh, I've got that vape of yours, bro. And he hands him the vape. He's like, oh, thanks, man. And he keeps going. He was like, so can I get the bag now? The guy's like, it's in the vape.
Truly rookie stuff.
Dude, it's so, fuck, have I told this story? Like trying to pick up in New York. Like I was in New York with a mate and we're trying to like.
This isn't this last trip.
This is like years ago. And like, you know, you just do something like dumb and like you, at the time, you just don't see the risk factor.
Yeah.
But basically we were standing outside this club. This guy's like offered someone else stuff. And we were like, oh yeah, this is our guy. And then he like kind of walked off. But then we were like, but we want to talk to him. So we just started following him, like me and my friend. And he was walking really fast. So we just kind of walked really fast. Like we followed him for like 7 minutes.
Then we're running.
Can I ask?
And then we're in an Uber pool with him. And he's actually one of my best friends. But no, like literally we're just like chasing this man through the streets of like Brooklyn, just like, you know, faster and faster. Eventually I was like, sorry, man. And he just like turns around and goes, whoa. And I was like, oh yeah, I just tapped the drug dealer on the shoulder from behind with no warning.
Yeah.
That's a risk.
You could have got stabbed, shot, or sold drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sold us some drugs.
Yeah.
It was fun. I just like to give a shout out to my bro.
I was just thinking about those clickbait headlines. Like, people I sold drugs to last night now unrecognizable.
That's good.
This single mother tried drugs one night and her life is unrecognizable. Click here to find out why. There's so many of them. Like I'm trying to get like the newsy one. You know what I mean? Just like like the one where it's like about like the segment of society. Like, oh yeah, here we go. The place in Australia that everybody is buying drugs that you've never heard of.
Yeah, that's good.
And it's Bathurst.
You won't believe how much money he's making from only drugs.
I thought drug dealing would be a profitable business. My tax bill has really turned my world upside down. Comments from Anonymous. That's so funny. Have you not seen those like article after article of like OnlyFans models being like, wait, I need to pay tax on this? It's like, yeah. You fucking idiot.
But that's a quick fix for them, right?
Yeah.
It's just a couple more
Videos.
couple more vids.
Yeah. A couple more submissions to hornysimp.com. Choose your own adventure. Just like, so I was sitting with my accountant and I noticed he had a huge cock. Suck this to make tax bill go away. B, try and come up with a payment plan. Or C, go home and make more content and hope the HO doesn't find out.
Talk about H&R cock.
Hammer does a thing. If you pick this up on the podcast, well, Hammer will have a pun ready to go, and he's like, I'm just going to wait my time. It doesn't matter how many steps we take away from the original point. I'll bring it back. H&R Cocky got in there early, though, to be fair.
That was true.
We're still talking about it.
Yeah. Yeah, he's actually one of the big four. Cocks, I've sucked today.
PwC, Price, Waterhouse, Cock.
Penis.
Penis,
What
Willie.
penis, what a huge cock.
Penis, what a huge cock.
Penis, Willie cock is pretty good. That's not bad. I mean, I say pretty good. I think actually not very good.
That's fair.
In hindsight, I was giggling and having a nice time.
Yeah.
But objectively, not a great pun.
Oh, okay.
Should we do a pilot ad? Speaking of cocks.
Let's do a pilot ad. I got an ad for Hamo this week.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. All right. Do you want us to just jump straight in? I think people know what it is now.
No, this podcast is brought to you by Pilot.
Pilot men's health, erectile dysfunction, and premature ejaculation medication. Also hair loss and weight loss. And we write an ad for each other each week. They have to read it out sight unseen. I've written one for Hamo this week. Hamo, tuck in.
Thank you, Pilot, for supporting the Flog cabin.
Hey there, floggers. Stand-up comedian and word of the day calendar enthusiast Andrew Hamilton here. Occasionally, within the continuum of an individual's existence, he endures afflictions of a profoundly clandestine nature. I'm acutely cognizant of this phenomenon, having encountered a multitude of medical predicaments necessitating rectification. None more conspicuously...
I'm bringing back the slapping thing from the live pod.
None more conspicuously than those impacting my penis. Specifically, I'm alluding to erectile dysfunction. There is categorically nothing propitious about this condition, as I think we can all acknowledge.
Propitious?
Propitious? Propitious. Yeah, sorry, I didn't know that word. There is categorically nothing propitious about this condition. Propitious about this. That's a bit of a little tongue twister.
Oh, yeah, that's the bit that's a tongue twister.
As I think we can all acknowledge. Consequently, I've embarked upon the use of Pilot. Pilot ensures my conjugal interactions are consistently auspicious, and the ladies are correspondingly enthralled. Go to pilot.com.au to try it out for yourself. Use the code FLOGGERS20 for $20 off your first order. Pilot. Pilot. Intransigent made facilitative.
Wow.
Wordy.
Yes, that was the premise.
That's what I felt like reading my audiobook. I was like, why have I used so many tongue twisters?
Because Tom was your ghostwriter.
Yes. I was like, why have I used this word in there?
And why are all these characters Chinese?
Was that callback live pod?
Yeah.
I think you talked about it with maybe an episode that hasn't come out yet, potentially. Maybe with Rory.
No.
Yeah, I did. Yes, but it was still funny.
You'll get it in 4 to 6 episodes.
In the future, you're really going to laugh.
The first trailer in the cabin. Gotta love that.
Yeah, did you catch the teaser after the credits? Robert Downey Jr. was in it.
I think The Rock's coming back. I thought he left after Flog 5.
Flog 5.
Yeah.
2 Flog, 2 Furious?
2 Flog, 2 Cabin.
2 Flog, 2 Cabin. Yeah.
Actually, 2 Flog, 2 Furious is good. I like it. I like them all. We know that I like this construction for anything.
You do. It's true.
Dude, I don't think I'll ever be disappointed by doing that. Just
you-
every single time I'm psyched.
Did you do some show that had that name?
We did jokes to bang to. We wanted to do 2 jokes to bang, and I pussied out. Then it was going to be jokes to bang to Tokyo Drift.
Which I think you probably would need the third one to get the second one, maybe.
Yeah, and let me tell you, spacing it out over 3 years at comedy festivals where no one knows you anyway, people would have loved it. Would have been a fucking winner, ironclad.
You just get a sellout crowd for people expecting the Asian showcase.
Yeah, jokes to bang to Tokyo Drift. It's just Hamo doing the accent. No, skip it. That's what Hamo look at me like, should I? No.
Green light.
Skip it.
Yeah, you may in 4 to 6 episodes, you may hear Hamo say Godzilla in a certain way.
I think that was at the live pod.
Yeah,
was it? I swear that was a live pod.
Yeah, it was the other day.
Yeah, I thought he was saying about Rory.
Okay, I thought we did with Rory as well. How many times have you done the Japanese accent now?
Oh,
Ich,
What do you-
ni,
what do you
sam,
mean?
she,
No.
go.
Gojira.
There it is.
So that's the 46-minute mark. Get rid of that. What are we doing?
Oh, I can't say Gojira.
You can't see Godzilla, no.
Oh, no, I said Gojira. That's the Japanese name for it.
Gojira.
Yeah, Gojira. It's the Japanese name for Godzilla.
Fuck off.
Now who's
That's-
the ignorant one?
Yeah, dude.
Dan.
Still probably Hamo, I reckon.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but like it's accurate.
Like Japanese people call Godzilla Gojira.
Gojira.
Are you bringing me into
I
this now?
swear
Are you
to God,
making me
I
an
swear.
accomplice?
So there is a subreddit called Gojira.
Dude, that's the Japanese name for
But
Godzilla.
no, they say Dojira with a D.
Oh, no, it's surely not. Nah.
Nah. No, Dojira.
Gojira.
Tom, are you calling Hamo-san a liar?
Hamo-san.
Loser has to seppuku.
Whitcomb-chan. I think Hamo-san is telling the truth. You guys didn't get into any anime? I can do about that. That's about the limit.
We should edit the video so it's all us like moving our mouth a little and just saying a few words.
Like the dub?
Yeah, the time.
I quite like it. I mean, I can also say, what is it? Katon Gokukyu no Jutsu.
What does that mean?
Fire style, fireball technique.
Oh,
Andy?
sure.
Sorry, what was the first part? Fire style?
Yeah, fire style.
Fire.
That's Naruto. This is an attack in Naruto.
Oh.
This is not practical.
What do you mean?
When am I ever going to need to use that?
Well, if you're in Japan and I hear someone say Katon Gokukyu no Jutsu, I'm going to get the fuck out of there because there's a fireball coming.
Oh, wow.
You're going to be like, oh, how cultural. And you're going to get singed, brother. You're going to get burnt.
So
I
far,
just need to know
Gojira is the French death progressive metal band known as the heaviest band in the universe.
It's wrong.
You heard it here first, folks. Andrew Hamilton says the internet is wrong.
Right in. Everyone else knows Gojira is Japanese for Godzilla. Pretty sure.
You're really going to die on this hill?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Instead of dying on the streets of Tokyo?
How are you spelling Gojira?
G-O-J.
No. Oh, yeah. That is right.
This pause in the podcast brought to you by this week's Dirty Jug.
Oh.
Here we go. Why is Godzilla also called Gojira?
Oh. Combining the Japanese words gorira.
Gorilla and Kajira meaning whale.
Ah. So gorilla whale.
Gorilla whale. There we go.
It's amazing that the Japanese word for gorilla is gorira. Like, you'd think that's something a racist has said.
I'm not going anywhere near that.
Look at that gorilla. Hey, whoa. No, it's right. Yeah.
Look it up.
Like Hammer's getting bashed by a bunch of people. I was right. Put your katanas away.
Look, this is on Wikipedia, 1954. Godzilla, Japanese Gojira. Am I right? There we go.
Why did you know that?
Because I spent a lot of time reading Wikipedia while I watch movies. I've been doing it for many, many years. And I know very unimportant stuff.
Yeah, that was pretty important. That got you out of a bind there.
Yeah.
We thought you were a big old racist, but turns out you were just a cultured gentleman.
I can be both.
Porque no los dos, which is Mexican.
Yeah.
That's the Mexican language.
I read some other stuff on the internet as well. Less culturally aware.
I want to talk about either Terminator or Two Flogs.
I would like you to talk about the Terminator.
All right.
Because you saw the Terminator at the Opera House.
I did. I saw the other. Was it last week? I had 2 Terminator events in the space of 3 days. I went and saw Terminator 1 at the Opera House with a 9-piece band or like techno band that have like synth machines and huge ass drums. I'm talking like the biggest drum you've ever seen. It would be it wouldn't fit through anyone's door.
Anyone's.
Well,
They had to take the top off the Opera House. They had to peel the shells back.
It's a big ass drum, and when they go boom, 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 you're like, holy shit! It's like it just really blows your hair back, you know. And there was a huge crowd, mostly old people that I think
Wait to go see Terminator live in concert at the Opera House?
Yeah, but like I don't think that they were really they were there because they're supporting the arts or like rather than like being like fans.
You were there because you were supporting the machines.
I like action movies.
We lost a lot of good Terminators out there.
I like action movies.
You do like action movies. That's very clear.
So anyway, it was amazing. And so I think it's now I'm at a point of privilege in my life where I will not see a feature film again unless it's supported musically by at least almost a dozen people.
And big drums.
I think I'm talking orchestral support.
Those aren't big drums. I could get those through my door.
Calling up the Opera House. Excuse me, what's the drum size for this performance? I just had to check on the drum size.
Yeah. They had to build them inside. They just brought in the raw materials.
Really big, you say?
All right, I'll be there. So unless it's being supported musically by a bunch of people, it's not going to be the same for me anymore.
Does that include to adult cinema? Just playing the Pornhub theme live?
I saw a video of a high school drummer.
Can you imagine? Bow chicka wow wow. And then the conductor's just doing the thing, like trying to silence them.
I saw a video of a guy, like a high schooler at a talent show, do the Pornhub drum fill on stage in front of his high school. It went off. Everyone was so excited.
Give us an impression.
It's like, oh, no, I'm not going to be able to do this.
It's fun. It's good to finally do Flog cabin audio clues this week.
Do you know it?
Pornhub.
No, that's not
That's Netflix. You're doing Netflix, brother.
Oh no, it's like.
That's what I tried to do at the start. Yeah, it's very hard.
I was doing the Netflix one. Oh fuck.
Sorry, I'm just picturing Hammer going to like a movie marathon. It's just like, is this just the Marawank thing? That's a movie marathon.
You're telling me I can't wank here?
Is this a filmathon? Oh, it's a movie marathon, sir.
A Marafilm?
How many films is it? I'm looking for about 3 hours of films. So you mean one? One pretty long film? Oh man, I did so much coke. I got through a Marafilm. Yeah, Lord of the Rings Part 1.
Lord of the Wings. Now who's doing Japanese accents?
So I saw that on the Wednesday.
So quickly. That's it.
There we go.
Yeah, if anyone who edits this, probably me, could insert the Pornhub thing. I wonder if that'd get flagged for copyright. They're like, hey, that's ours.
No, I think they're in favor. I think they'd be keen on it.
I don't reckon they're open source. I reckon they're like, nah, it's only Pornhub branded content because there's like a requirement to get on Pornhub. It's harder to get on Pornhub than other porn websites.
Oh, okay.
That's the thing, yeah. Because I remember they lost some of their videos and my dick and me were sad.
Should we see if we can try and get this episode hosted on Pornhub? You know how sometimes they just put on like, wasn't there a thing where people were putting movies on Pornhub to get
Torsten
around?
has a whole bit about him watching 1917 on
that's
Pornhub.
right. Yeah.
I remember Sam Campbell, like way early on, tried to get his Raw set on Pornhub. He put it up as Sam Campbell Goes Raw. And they took it down, which is super funny. Just like getting an email, we took down your video because it is not pornography.
Yeah. Not suitably offensive.
Yeah, there aren't any cocks or vaginas in this.
That's funny.
But yeah, I would love an adult. Surely, do you reckon back in the day there was like adult films, like proper films, like we're talking like Boogie Nights adult films, where it was like a plot and a soundtrack. Wonder if they'd ever do that.
Like a live with the band.
Pretty hot.
Yeah, probably.
Hammer, would you go watch?
A live performance of pornography.
Yeah.
Am I high on cocaine? Having a Marawank?
No, you're just watching. Probably with some popcorn, sweet and savory.
Yeah.
I think it'd be
hole in the
very, yeah. I think it would be very funny to be in a very in a sexual setting, being completely non-sexual, just like hanging out with your mates. Like, oh, can you pass us an ice cream? And I was trying to think of the word choc top.
Cocked up? It was there, Hammer.
Just pass a quick choc top and let's settle in and watch this chick get railed by 4 dudes.
Yeah, with a live band.
Man, those drums are huge.
Check out the drums on her. She can't get through a door.
I think it would add something. Yeah, for sure.
Do you reckon
I think it would increase the performance as well.
Which movie soundtrack do you think it would be the easiest to fuck to?
The easiest.
Yeah, because like Hammer's doing the Terminator, dun 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 dun, and I'm like, I could stick it into that.
Jaws. I'm done.
But then there's the risk of ejaculating before it speeds up,
Yeah.
and you had a little premature ejac.
Not with Pilot.
No, with Pilot, impossible.
I think any of the John Williams scores from classic films would do.
Not a Hans Zimmer.
I was thinking like Inception.
Inception.
Nah.
Dude, you're fucking for ages. It's like, yeah, I'm like 3 dream states in.
And I needed you to give it to me hard. I'd be like, dun da da da, dun da da, dun da da, dun
This is probably one of the real cabin high points.
So I saw Terminator 1 on Wednesday, and then I went to see Terminator 2.
Takes him out to build a cabin.
Okay. On the Friday, I went to the Hayden Orpheum in Cremorne. I don't know why it's called Hayden.
The Hayden Orpheum?
Matthew Hayden opened it.
Yep.
He opened the batting and the cinema.
They have a room.
It's actually the Justin Langer snack bar.
They have a theater in there that fits like maybe like almost 1,000 people.
700. I hosted the City Comedy Festival Gala.
It's big, and it was full.
Yeah.
And there was the deal was you get to watch Terminator 2, and it was a live Q&A with the bad guy from Terminator 2, Robert Patrick, who plays the T-1000, the liquid robot. And so he came and look, I mean, he's seen better days. He's gotten quite old and
Why are you having a go at the T-1000 here? Fucking out of nowhere.
still an absolute. No, I'm not. He's an absolute legend. Just like he's
It's just weird because he could look like whatever he wants.
But
Even a really big drum. I love those.
he was great.
That's so funny at the end of the concert, the drum transforms into Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Nah, there's rules around that. They can only turn into other people. They can't. Not was it like something without moving parts?
Well, they can't turn into objects.
Can't be
No.
a car.
No.
Fuck off. Is that a thing?
Yeah,
Kind of makes sense.
Arnold explains it like in the first 30 minutes of the movie.
Well, not all of us saw the Terminator this week, Hamo.
Yeah,
Not up on the law.
can only transform into simple objects.
It's a great Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Bombs have moving parts.
Bombs have moving parts.
Yeah, I think he's lying, something like that.
Why you can't transform into a bomb? Why do you want to transform into a bomb?
Well, because he was wondering why the T-1000 wasn't just turning himself into a bomb to like blow him up, instead of like, trying to stab him.
Oh, with the knife.
The knifey knives, yeah.
The knifey knives?
Yeah.
Is that officially it?
That's the knifey knives.
And the T-1000
Stabby
engaged
McStabs.
his knifey knife army arms for some stabby stabs.
Yeah. So Robert Patrick actually ended up being a pretty good sport. He did a good session with the Q&A.
What kind of questions was he getting?
Oh, like the funniest one was like they picked like 3 people from the audience to ask him questions.
Did you try?
I did not. And
Did you have a question you would like to have asked him? Maybe he's a
No,
flogger.
I
Maybe
didn't.
he's listening.
No, I hadn't thought of anything that I thought would be particularly good. But one guy, the last guy that asked him a question, did that like annoying thing when you're sitting in the crowd and like instead of just asking the question was like, "Hey Robert, like I first saw Terminator when I was 8 years old in like Ottawa, Canada, and man." Well, I'm like, we don't give a shit about your fucking backstory about when you saw the movie, you fuckwit. Just ask your question.
Yeah, what a dickhead.
So aggressive.
Trying to give his question some context and praise Robert Patrick, who you just said looked old.
We don't want to hear it. Get to the fucking question. So he asked Robert Patrick,
Yeah.
when you went to the premiere and you saw the movie in its entirety, were you just like kind of blown away with like just what this masterpiece was?
It's awesome that you're asking his question even slower than him.
And so he was clearly wanting Rob Patrick to give some comment about like just whether he had any sense that they were creating this huge piece of like pop culture that's lasted through decades. But instead, Rob Patrick was like, "Oh, I went there with a few of my mates and I was really stoned." And we just sat there and were like, "Whoa, this is cool."
That's good.
And you can see the look on the guy's face, just so he'd like been thinking about this question for ages, and he thought he was going to get some huge answer, and it just wasn't the answer that he thought he was going to get. And then it was like, "All right, cool. Anyone else?" You got one question, and that was the answer. But then the funniest part happened. Robert Patrick walked off, and they were taking him, like the memorabilia guy was going to take him to some like fancy steak dinner, and they would like been selling or like auctioning off tickets. He wasn't there for the movie. He didn't stay for the movie. This is at the start, the Q&A.
Oh, okay.
Q&A.
Sorry, the memorabilia guy.
Yeah, so like there was a memorabilia guy who had like brought him out. So like the whole way, the reason they're doing the movie is basically to sell shit at the movie.
Oh, so it's like a silent auction.
It wasn't a silent auction; it was a live auction that we saw right there. People were bidding.
Wow.
It was one of the most fun parts of the entire evening.
What was up for grabs?
They had a shirt that looked like a police shirt that may have been worn by Robert Patrick, probably not, and it had like metal bullets in it, and it was signed by like Arnie and signed by Robert Patrick. And so I think the memorabilia guy was a bit annoyed when like, you know, the bidding kind of petered out at like 900. He's like, "Really? 900 for the shirt? Really? Like, all right. Yeah. But as a spectator with no skin in the game and no interest in bidding on any of this stuff, watching an auction can be a lot of fun when people are getting in a little bidding wars. I think this could be something that could be a televised sport.
Auctions.
Live auctions. Have you
On really nerdy stuff maybe though. Or houses.
or houses?
Are you describing like the season finale of The Block?
Oh, I've never watched it, but
I've got terrible news for you. They've stolen your idea.
It's a fucking auction, man.
yeah, but that's not every episode. I'm just saying that's the build up to the finale. I'm saying every episode is just pure auction.
Just any auction, just for
Any
anything.
auction, any auction.
And what do? Do you interview the auctioneer and then like the people who are bidding on stuff?
Well, to flesh out a half an hour program, you probably have to get a couple of backstories on some loser that's going to be involved in the bidding, and like, you know, how this guy got to be an auctioneer, and the technique of going 150, 150, 175, 175 here.
So you got to get some guy who's got some kind of health condition, so his like kidneys are failing, and he bids on a renal dialysis machine.
That's it.
And unfortunately sold to the foreign investor.
Don't worry, mate. He'll rent it to you.
But that was fun. So Robert Patrick was going to go to dinner, this steak dinner.
Yes.
And the auctioneer was like, "Hey, we've got like 2 empty seats for this dinner.
Would anyone like to bid on one of these seats?
That was
Oh, seriously, that's what happened.
no, he was like, come and see me and make me an offer. And then the other guy got up and goes, I think it was supposed to be 1,200, but he'll take 7. I don't know if anyone actually did it, but
$700 to sit with the other guy from the Terminator films, Terminator 2.
the bad guy from Terminator 2. But I was like, I'm just happy to watch the movie.
Yeah. You could have got a steak dinner for $700. Does that include dinner?
I think that includes dinner, and I'm assuming I would get a photo with Robert, and I'd get to ask him other questions that weren't asked during the Q&A.
That'd be funny if that wasn't part of it. You had a chance in the Q&A. You're going to sit here and eat your steak in silence.
You can say statements, no questions.
Nothing about Terminator.
This is a lovely steak, Robert.
Robert, I see you brought your own cutlery.
The forky fork and the...
But the thing that I noticed also was that the room was full of people that were there to see either Robert or to watch the movie, presumably.
Or to bid on the auction. Man, there's so many possibilities.
But the funny thing was, these guys won these huge, what do you call it, framed things, pieces of memorabilia,
Yeah.
which they got passed, and then they had to like awkwardly slink back to their seats, like crushing people's legs. Sit through the whole movie
With the huge...
with the frame thing, like just there,
Hold your microphone to your mouth.
right there. I was like, this has been poorly thought out.
They haven't just, learned from the people who run the meat raffle, whereas just keep it in the fridge till you leave the RSL.
That's what they needed to do.
Very simple.
The
Maybe
thing-
just leave it hung on the wall.
The other thing that I reminded me of was that the place was full of like 800 people,
Mm-hmm.
and we were all watching. We ended up watching Terminator 2 together, and it was really good to like watch a movie again with a dickload of people. Because these days, when you go to the cinema, there's not really that many people there, right? But it used to be when I was younger, such a collective experience to go to like the Hornsby Odeon. I'd go and you'd watch something like The Sixth Sense, and the movie would be every seat full. And at the end, when it was like turns out that Bruce Willis is a ghost, everyone's like, "Oh, what?"
How about like, this isn't going to make any sense to you unless I use an example of a movie. Do you guys remember movies? Like The Sixth Sense?
I'm just saying it's not a collective
Godfather
experience anymore because I guess they don't really fill out that often.
No, I get you.
If you go to like the
New
premiere or
release.
something, you can make that happen. But I can't believe you're just describing the value of live performance to two comedians.
No.
So isn't it better when there's lots of people there to experience it simultaneously?
but there's different one. It's like you don't watch it. It's just on a screen.
Yeah, but you're experiencing it together.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the part which I'd forgotten how good a collective experience of even just watching something on a fucking screen can be. We need to bring that back. How do we save cinema?
The Andrew Hamilton, what is it? Marawank?
There we go.
Live at the Hornsby Odeon
There we
with
go.
supporting band with the biggest drums you've ever seen.
We're watching Debbie Does Dallas 1, 2, 3, and 4 back to back to back.
Robert Patrick's going to be there.
He's going to be stoned though. Really stoned.
You can have dinner with him.
I just like the idea of the Marawank of the Odeon. It's just the big drums are there to keep time, like a Viking ship. Stroke, 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 stroke.
Well, every now and then you got to mix that up. You got to go bum 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 bum. But just
Wank. Yeah, there you go. Moving it up and down. No lube. This is a Marawank. There are no hydration stations.
We've turned the heating way up. You're going to get a lot of sweat and a
Tears
lot of
and sweat.
pre-cum.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, look, obviously I had to make fun of you because that was an insane thing to be surprised by. But I had that in the...
it was just nostalgia, right? I'd forgotten how good it was, and I missed it.
In the UK, we went, Mary and I went to see like Home Alone on like the cinema Christmas Eve, or like 2 nights before Christmas, packed cinema. And like, yeah, just people reacting as one. It's fucking good.
That was like when Barbie and Oppenheimer came out, right? A lot of people were having that same experience. Suddenly,
I went to a packed
theaters-
Barbie. Yeah,
me too.
I dressed up in a pink tracksuit for my niece.
Yeah.
Yep. It turned out
That's
it wasn't
cute.
pink. It was close.
What color would you say it was?
Kind of like a salmon.
Yeah. Is it salmon?
Yeah.
Cerise?
I don't know what cerise is.
That's Cerise,
Probably
the
pretty
shirt
close
you're
to
wearing?
Cerise, yeah. It's what we used to, whenever we used to give St. Joseph's College, Joey's, shit that their colours were like blue and pink. They'd be like, it's not pink, it's cerise.
Yeah, what a private school comeback that is.
You fucking dickhead, it's not pink, it's cerise.
Cerise.
One in the
Still
stick,
gay.
2 in the Cerise. I'm gonna get out of here. Quick call on that.
Why did you do that? The other way around.
Because you
One
couldn't
in the
start
pink,
with
two in the
cerise.
cerise.
I did one in the stink. Two in the cerise.
Oh, sorry. I was like, that's pink twice, Tom. Why are you fingering this pussy with two separate hands?
So 3? Yeah, 3.
I thought the upper bit was the pink and the lower bit was the cerise.
Show us your cerise bits.
If you yelled that out, would you get in trouble or would people be impressed?
Cerise bit sounds like a female pop star.
I mean,
God, I wish I could remember one pink song right now. God, I'd be killing it.
This did used to be a fun house. Happy?
Whew.
All right.
Okay.
I gotta go to a gig.
The Cerise Panther. There we go.
Cerise Panther.
thanks for checking out another episode of The Cabin. What do we usually say, Dan?
Man, I fucking lost it. Chose your Cerise Panther. That's fucking wild. It's just like sexism by Chaucer.
Statistically, 100 female listeners just went, I wonder if we can see these guys live.
Just some guy in a fucking horse-drawn chariot. Show us your cerise bits on the way to building the keep of the castle. Fuck me. All right. Flog Cabin, thanks for tuning in. It's so good to be back.
It's
I
good to
missed
be
the
back.
cabin.
It's been fun.
I miss the boys. Keep flogging the cabin. It grows. The cabin does grow. And we got the show in Sydney on July 20th, 4 p.m. at Kinsellas.
The ratings on Spotify going up. We're up to 90.
Up to 90. Can we
reviews
make
now?
it 100? If we make it 100, I'll take my helmet off and adjust my box. I'll do it.
Because we got what was we ended up on the charts. We got an
15.
all-time high. Number 15, Australian Comedy Interview Podcast.
Yeah. And as anyone who's a regular flog will know, fuck me, it's an interview.
Yeah.
We learn plenty.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So the Louis Theroux podcast. Except Louis Theroux's podcast.
And how did you feel during that Marawank?
Take me back to the Marawank.
All right. That'll do. Stay flogged up.
Check the Dodgems.
Bye.